Well. I think it's working here. Um, there we go. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Thomas, how are you doing?
I can hear you. Sorry, I was just actually texting with our good friend Matthew Harris, who's just now has the tornado sirens sounding off in his neck of the woods. So he's taking cover, and we're looking at the radar. But he and his wife, being pilots, they're very weather savvy, so he doesn't really need my help. But he knows I'm a curious cat with weather, so we were
he's blaming you. He's like, look, you wanted this, and here it comes.
Oh, happy Thursday! How was your streaming day today?
It was very different because we didn't have the trial. Obviously, Karen Reed took a break today, so it was pleasant. And what happened was little surprising. I pulled a U. That's what happened. We streamed half a day. We sort of did some court hopping. Judge Simpson, a little bit of. We tried to see Judge Wolf, but he killed the stream too early. Went down to San Antonio, Texas. Saw Judge Boyd, and we went to lunch break. And I was sitting in my chair, and the next thing I know, I wake up, and it's like 3.
I was gonna joke. Would you take a nap
in this chair? But when I woke up, I just about fell out of the chair. I don't know how I stayed in the chair asleep, because this is basically a glorified bar stool, is what it is. This is not a lazy boy. It's not luxurious. I did not sleep well last night, but I made up for it in the middle of the day. I was going to go live again in the afternoon. I was like, well, I sort of slept through the afternoon. So,
yeah, she's a retired lady. Power nap. Called it. That's and it's kind of funny. Red Pen's laughing. Scott fell asleep in his own chair. It's I've seen it before. I've seen it before. Post podcast, Mrs. R.A. will hop in and we'll start just chit-chatting about stuff, the three of us. And after a couple minutes, I look to the little screen over here, and Scott's doing about a midday stream sometimes if court's not really hopping, where he's kind of out and out and out. And so, yeah, I've seen it before, but not that long. That's a long nap in the chair. It hurt your back or anything?
No, like my neck hurt like 2 days ago, so I didn't sleep well yesterday. So I didn't sleep well last night. That's why I was tired today. But I'm fine right now. I don't know. So my neck hurting was why I was tired today, but now I'm feeling fine. So wild.
Now you're ready for the show. That is wild.
I just absently stuck my hand in the ghost pepper bag of jerky to get a piece out, and now I can't touch my face for the rest of the show.
Yes, I got an itch in my eye. I can't do it. You're gonna have to call for help.
This hand needs to be quarantined, but I might try some during the show.
Now that's the bag number 2, right?
It is. I'm quite proud of myself. I did finish, and when I mean finish, I ate the crumbs and everything out of bag number 1. Opened bag number 2. Bag number 1 just had a couple little crumbs. I put them in my mouth, sort of chewed them and swallowed them, and it was like, hey, maybe my tolerance level is going up, because it was fine.
Yeah.
Fine. And so I opened bag number 2. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty confident. Grabbed a piece about the size of a nickel, popped it in my mouth. It was soft, tender, chewed it, swallowed it. No problem. Reaching in again, I grab a big old slice, a huge, probably the biggest piece that was in here. Popped that in my mouth. It's not as soft. That piece required more. What is it?
Rigorous chewing.
Yeah, chewing. I had to work on it. By the time I was trying to swallow that, it had turned into an inferno. It was so stinking hot. My wife's like, "Are you okay, Scott? Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." I come out, my eyes are watering, nose going. It's just like, what happened? I'm like, ghost pepper.
So she's safe to say, Jen's not going to let you buy any more food that I recommend when it comes to the spice meter.
Well, she probably let me. I mean, she's like, well, you can be an idiot if you want.
You're all glutton for punishment.
I want to go down like one notch. I want to go down to like habanero level, which is hot for me. Ghost pepper is just...
It's the best. At least it's not Carolina Reaper.
Is that... I thought they were like neck and neck.
I believe. Let's double check. Let's fact check that.
While you're doing that, today happens to be the first podcast of June.
Oh, that means...
Which means I get to give out 10 gifted memberships.
That's awesome.
like to give it out early to the newcomers who are here. And since we have about 136 of you here right now, let's go ahead and do this. Everyone, first of all, make sure your gift settings are turned on the channel. If somebody can go ahead and type !gifts in chat, then click the link, open it in a new window. Make sure the slider button is moved to the right to make it active. Thank you, Thomas, for that. And if it is, then at least you're eligible. And of course, it helps if you like the live stream and subscribe to the channel and ring the bell and all the other things. But there we go. Everybody ready? Everybody's ready, I think. All right. And we've also got some gifted memberships that we're giving already. Here we go. First batch going out right now. And Denise Dominguez. Congratulations. SVB, Sickful Bus, got it. Snarky Old Lady, SS, and Brittany Norwood for round 1.
Bam. Awesome.
Round 2.
There
we go.
Off they go.
Adine Hernandez, Hund Lover 3, Therese Callaghan, and Mike C.
Bam.
And Shannon. Sorry.
Congratulations, y'all.
I think I got
awesome.
the right ones there. Yay. 6 volt, congratulations. Thanks. All right. See, the 6 volt is an OG, and he got one. So it's starting, the algorithm is starting to come around and start to give awards back. I opened the jerky again. It's something about the jerky bag. It begs to be opened.
It does. And so we've got an update here. The Carolina Reaper is significantly hotter than the Ghost Pepper. The Scoville heat units on the Reaper range from 1.4 to 2.2 million, while Ghost Pepper is in the range from 850,000 to 1 million. So see, I didn't tell you to get the Carolina Reaper.
Numbers. Okay.
It's a big range.
It's a big piece.
That's a good piece. And from my understanding, no milk, just water, right?
Yeah, and not very much of that.
So this could be this could be entertaining. It's
got
like
my eye got it.
Is the temperature rising in your office?
Mm-hmm.
You know what you could do to wash it down is one of these would probably take care of the heat.
Oh, those would be delicious.
We don't know.
It's getting really warm, right?
I like what I may or may not try. I still don't know. But for those wondering, I found these the other day, these little cakesters. So instead of the cookie cracker topping, they have like a soft baked brownie. Never had them. I wonder, has anyone in chat had those before? Kid says he's turning red.
There's a little bit stuck in my teeth, which means it'll just burn me forever.
Jayhawk Jen, he's turning red like a shirt.
I've learned it's important how you swallow it so it never touches the back of your throat, because that's like a death sentence.
Yes, it's just a clean shot. Get it in and out.
Okay.
Detect Vids has had the Oreo cakesters and said they're amazing. So Virginia Little RA just ate ghost pepper jerky from Bucky's, which yours truly recommended because it's my absolute favorite. And
so hot.
He's not a huge fan of it thus far.
I will tell you this. Nowhere on here is there a suitable warning about the heat. The only indication that this is hot is the word ghost pepper.
I mean, call me silly. There's pretty good indication that that's hot.
I mean, but I would expect like, a little 5 chili peppers or something in the corner, or caution, wear surgical gloves when handling. Do not touch eyes after eating. Keep, milk on hand.
You're right. I guess like a jar of salsa at the store says mild, medium, hot, spicy. So that's kind of a good point. Maybe
it's
they
almost, should. If you could like stick this in with like the regular peppered ones, and someone could grab this by accident and die. It's so strong.
They have a lot of opportunities to read, but
See now,
How many pieces out of the bag did you just consume?
one is about the size of a quarter, and I'm doing okay. It didn't touch the back of my throat. That's where that's my weakness usually, when it touches the back of my throat, and that's like just lava in the throat. I'm like thinking I can handle it. I'm ready for the big piece, and that's when I fall. That's when
Do it. Do
I have a goal to finish this bag,
I love this goal. I love it.
but not this month.
No. No.
I will work. I'm going to be like Mr. Burgess with my resume. I'm currently pursuing the goal of finishing the bag of ghost pepper jerky.
It's perfect.
I will tell you, those Oreos you held up look delicious. I've never even seen those. They're like a cake Oreo.
Yeah, I'll do one box at a time, I guess. I'm gonna go I've decided. I told Scott I was on the fence because I have dinner waiting for me after the show and I'm starving. I don't want to ruin it, but I'll go ahead and I'll try a piece of each. But I saw these in the store and Oreo cakesters. So instead of the cracker cookie, it's like a little brownie. But I also didn't notice until just before we started the show that the filling on this is not the normal cream filling. It's a chocolate filling. I'm a little disappointed in that, to be honest. That now I'm kind of like, oh, now it's not a good comparison. But they
not
also
Oreo at all.
but they have the golden Oreo one that does have the cream filling.
Oh, okay.
And instead of the cookie cracker has the cake. So the box is open, but I have not yet tried them because they come in packs like these.
I imagine that's one serving size, right?
It's I was trying to understand the other day. Yeah, serving size 1 pack. So 13 grams of fat, saturated fat 5 grams, 170 milligrams sodium, 36 grams of carbs. Total sugar is 21 grams.
You're not going to need your dinner.
I'm going to take one nibble of a cookie or of a cake, I guess. I'm going to try the golden. I'm assuming golden's vanilla, right? That's what that means.
Yeah. Tammy says like a whoopie pie. I was thinking like a moon pie or something like that, but without the chocolate covered coating on the outside.
It's actually it's very dense.
I was thinking it'd be like a Twinkie.
Same. No, it's a very, very dense. Like this could get stale within 20 minutes type dense. I actually like it better than the picture. I can guarantee when I bite it, it's not going to have that texture like that and be that. It's not fluffy.
I was thinking, is it like hard like a vanilla wafer?
Softer.
I could see when he took a bite that the filling just sort of like squished out the sides.
It's which is sugar on top of sugar with added sugar and then a side of sugar.
It tastes like vanilla.
Oh my gosh. If I was in the mood for dessert, I could take one more bite, I think. That is so much sugar. Holy moly.
You're going to be wired for the rest of the show.
Oh my gosh.
And then the sugar crash. All right. I have to ask the question. Do you think they would be good like dipped in milk? Like a regular Oreo.
They would, not as good as a regular Oreo, but they need some compensation there for that sugar dump. Holy mackerel. That is a lot. Now I'm going towards the chocolate, which is chocolate on chocolate. So same thing, very dense.
Right.
I mean, it's awesome. Very
soft,
trigger warning.
Soft filling as well.
Moist.
Yeah, so they have
with a soft filling. There's chocolate.
That's just chocolate. Is it like eating just fudge? It's just so rich, so much sugar.
Yeah, so I could eat more of these than the other because, yes, very sugary for sure. The other one it just tasted like straight sugar. I mean, it's yeah. So I could eat way more. I could eat both cookies in the serving if I was not trying to spoil my dinner and it was dessert. No problem. It wasn't not too sweet. The other was overwhelming. This with some milk, incredible. Now, I will say though, no Oreo trademark flavoring in either or. I don't taste any bit of some sort of Oreo flavor. at all. And eat them. They just taste like their own real sugary dessert. That part's a little disappointing. So,
Bit of a letdown, Oreo, to brand it.
yes.
Should have just come up with a new name.
Yeah. So I recommend the chocolate, and dipping that in milk would be a really good change up from a standard Oreo. The Goldens, if you are a sugar fiend, you're in. But otherwise, holy moly, that was wild. I wonder if they're the same, and it's just a trick in my head. Less
labels.
less sodium in the Golden.
Mm-hmm.
It's got 170 milligrams to 220 in the chocolate. Carbs are the same. Where did sugars go here? Yeah, see, I was right. I could taste it. The sugars in the ultra sweet one, it's got 21 grams. The total sugars in the chocolate one has 20. So I knew my palate was on fire.
It's like, I taste an extra gram of sugar in this. Now, I have a confession. Last podcast, you showed me some goldfish that were the cinnamon roll ones. I ordered them, got them. I thought I got a 3-pack, but I ended up getting like 1 pack of those and 1 strawberry shortcake and 1 vanilla cupcake. So I felt a little cheated. Yeah, I felt cheated. I thought I was getting 3 of the same, but ate the other 2 bags, and they were like, okay, they were good. The cinnamon rolls were fantastic. I had like a handful of them, and immediately I said, I need to eat this as a breakfast cereal. And I got a bowl. I poured some in just like breakfast cereal, poured in the milk. I have learned, this is true with both Oreos and now Goldfish crackers, unfortunately, you have about 4 seconds of submerged time before you lose all shape, and it just becomes mush.
Mm-hmm.
It just becomes mush. I tried to eat it as fast as I could, but at the end, it was like having a little bit of oatmeal in the bowl and mixing in a lot of milk on top of it, but it was sweet and it tastes like cinnamon rolls. So it doesn't hold up under
milk
direct contact.
It absorbs too much.
You have to eat them dry and then have the side of milk.
But they were good.
Yeah. Virginia Little, this is for you. If at first you don't succeed, skydiving was not for you. Just so you
know. Speaking of sugar,
mm-hmm.
and now we'll dive headfirst into the show, and we're going to bunny hop a few. But so when I did the rundown, those can't see it, but Scott gets to it. It says, "Does RA love Mountain Dew as much as this gal loves Red Bull?" And I've seen it on other things, but not so much this. But there's a gal, there's a Swiss woman. She loves Red Bull so much that she got the barcode to the product tattooed on her arm. And it's a legitimate barcode. So when she goes to the store, she can scan her arm and it registers how many she's buying.
I'm sure that saves her a lot of time taking things out of the cart and then scanning it and then putting it back in the cart. It's beep, just beep, swipe, beep, swipe, beep, swipe. Beep. A true tattoo of the Red Bull barcode. That's how much she likes it. So what's funny to me is as soon as I read it, I thought of RA and Mountain Dew. See, I don't think there's anything I like enough to tattoo it on me. I'm fickle enough. I change my mind enough that I'm just not sure if I could commit. Right? I'd be second guessing. I'd be like, what? Want something else, or maybe if it was a little different, or what if I lose weight or bulk up or something, and suddenly my pet goldfish looks like a koi on my arm instead. I don't like the koi. I'm worried that it change, and I'd be stuck with it. So
my thinking was, if Red Bull gets a hold of the story as a prank, don't actually do it, but announce a big rebranding, including a barcode change of their product, and tag, scope out some of her friends on social media and tag them or something. So that way she sees it and immediately freaks out.
To a QR code instead of a barcode.
Bingo. No, barcodes are done. They're gone. I think that would be hilarious to prank her, and they could run with it.
I don't think Red Bull's going to give her anything for it because the logo's not on there. It's just, it could be anything. When you look at a barcode, unless you see the rest of the product, you don't know what it is. So I know it has like a little worm, like a caterpillar, eating the top corner of the barcode in the picture.
It does. So if any of y'all are interested and want to look it up, the article is I love Red Bull so much I got a barcode tattoo, and there's pictures we can't show because obviously copyright whatnot. But it's a close up, and there's a little worm that wraps around it, and it's chewing a part of the barcode. And apparently, this was inspired by one of her sister's illustrations, so she incorporated into the barcode. But yeah, it's like everyone's different. I understand, but it's like the jinx of the spouse's name or initials. You know, you get on there and all of a sudden the next day things change. It's not, now you got to get a cover up or an adjustment tattoo, or
it's like, what can I make out of this?
Yeah. I kind of want to research and see where like Monster Energy drink or how close their barcodes are. If she can ever do a change up, if she hates Red Bull one day.
You never know. Some products go through like socially they become like less acceptable, right?
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, it's like now we don't like this product because of how it's made or the process or how much natural resources it uses or something else. So she might be stuck. But I think barcodes are going to go away eventually.
I do too. I agree.
We've got AI that can read and tell people's faces. The cameras, you walk in the store, they know who you are before you get to the check stand. They recognize you.
Yep.
Oh man,
100%.
Is this Matthew Harris's area?
Yeah, Lynn Taylor. Correct. Tornado in Texas. Currently, that's right. We are currently in Lubbock, Texas, is what we're looking at. And Matthew Harris and I were texting just prior to that. In fact, now this is not radar indicated. This is an observed tornado, which I need to switch over to something and see. Very, very close to actually where he is. So as we were texting and this was entering his area, I said, "Be safe, my friend, and get in your safe place." And he said, "In my safe place? So you mean right here?" So he took his selfie.
Selfie with the cloud behind him.
Yeah. So just for reference, though, that was, let's see, that was 20 minutes ago. So he's, for those that don't know, he and his wife are now private pilots. They have their license. And part of that, you have to be quite a weather I don't know, a weather aware individual.
Yeah.
Because that's a big part of flying and being out there. So I have no concerns for them.
Winds and air currents and stuff suddenly become very crucial when it's just air between you and the ground.
Yes, especially in single engine aircraft. That's a big deal. So I was texting him not to warn him because I knew he already knew, but just chatting with him about it. So I'm sure they've already taken cover. They're in their place. But yeah, thoughts and prayers for them because that appears to be right over the area of town they live in, that part of Lubbock, Texas.
So before I fell asleep this afternoon, I was scrolling through YouTube and I found some shorts from a creator who flies a ultralight plane. And he starts every video saying, "Hi, I'm flying my ultralight whatever plane that doesn't require a pilot's license because it's under 254 pounds." It's basically a lawn chair with a lawnmower engine on it.
Yes,
and a little bit of cloth on some sticks on the side, and this guy takes off in the air. He's like, "And you too can do this." I'm like, how many people are going to die from you? Like, I can do that. No. He happens to also be a pilot, but he's like climbs in this little contraption, bare feet, right? And it's tiny. It looks like it's about the size of a bicycle. It can hold like 350 pounds total, has 5 gallons of fuel, can go about 100 miles on a flight. And he's like, "And you could get your own for just $35,000. I'm like, for $35,000, I'm going to rent a plane. Okay. And it's going to be safe. Safe inspection. I'll have a pilot to fly me.
A pilot. Yep.
Yeah. Good fun. Good fun.
Oh, that's wild. My brother sent me a link. I've been actually teetering on getting my pilot's license as well. And I want to just, in case those are curious, even if you don't want to get your own, just watching the journey, if you're curious about aviation, it was really cool. And it is titled, if I can scroll past the 1,500 live storm chasing feeds I've been watching. We had solid rotation come in just 2 nights ago, and a lot of the big time storm chasers were coming through town, and they stayed in our town actually last night. It's from the YouTube channel Ambition Strikes.
Oh,
I believe it's a big okay. I was gonna say I believe it's a big channel. just shy of 1 million subs.
That channel, these guys are absolutely nuts. It's a husband-wife team. I think they have a child now. They like
Correct.
I think they're in northern Idaho. They bought some land and they're just like, we're gonna go for it. We're gonna build a pond. We've never built a pond before. And they're like, they're buying a surplus army equipment and just
Yes.
they bought a Navy barge that's used to track submarines. They're converted it to a houseboat right now. Crazy channel. Love. Okay, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt, but I love that.
No, perfect. The hype is perfect because they're really good. The energy is up there. It's high. But his most recent part is I became a pilot in 14 days. So this company reached out to him and said, "Hey, do you want to do this?" So he's with he's called, the Dutch Airman or something is his teacher. His name's Jan, Jan. And he had to take his ground education and all that stuff first, to get your student license. But then boom, they fly every day for 14 days. And Jan puts him through the ringer, and it's through 6 states, and I forget how many hours. And I won't ruin anything, but the first episode is just shy of 50 minutes, 50, and that's a little past halfway of his journey. It's tremendous watching someone who's never flown, doesn't know any of the lingo, who's then now all of a sudden talking to ATC and flying a plane, trying to land it, trying to take off on it, doing so. I can't wait for the next episode to come out of it. It's incredible, but it can be done.
Well. Loved it. I will spoil one part of it. He hits the ground hard at one point.
20 feet hard.
I'm not sure if they can reuse the plane right hard. Wow. But it's crazy. It's crazy. First of all, it's like the ultimate sleepover. It's like, hey, I'm going to go hang out with my friend for the next 2 weeks. And when I come back, I'm going to be a pilot. And so we're just going to, I'm going to be in Arizona. I'm going to fly over the Grand Canyon, and I'm going to go over to San Francisco. And he's just hopping all over the Western United States. And at the end of this massive, amazing trip, he's got his pilot, hopefully, assuming he makes it. I'm hoping it's got a happy ending in the end. He's going to get his pilot's license. So.
And I will say this, I've been in a handful of single engine private aircraft, and I've got, 10 hours under my belt because I was trying to do this route myself and things changed, so I stopped. The plane he is starting in, he is spoiled rotten. A Cirrus SR-22, and it's a year like 2022. It's that for aircraft that is a very, very nice private aircraft.
It's like the Cadillac of small planes.
Even better. The technology that's equipped in it. My gosh. And it's just a below wing aircraft versus above wing, which for whatever reason might see legs in the air. Below wing, I can fly in all day. Above wing, I don't like. They just handle and maneuver a little bit differently. But the technology in the plane and what it can do, being a year that it is, I mean, most people that if they want to go get their private and head out, if I would here locally right now, the instructor I'd be flying, it'd be a 1986 something or other, because I've seen it and I've looked at it. Not a 2020.
The old plane that looks like it came out of the 70s. Big flap door that,
Might even be a Cessna 152, if I had to guess. Like the slowest rotation speed you can get in an aircraft to take off on. It's like 55 knots to take off. You're literally sprinting on foot.
Good gust of breeze, and you're good to go. Yeah.
But really cool video and good channel. So
now you've got another. What's your goal? Is this just you're toying with it right now, or you're thinking is this going to help trigger? You're the pause game.
No toying. Prior to my pickleball addiction that transpired and took off, that I want to go play in some tournaments and do that and run with it. But my goal was to go get my private pilot's license. It really was. But now it's a little bit different because I want to justify, if I get it, what can I do with it on top of leisure? How can I make money doing it? I don't want to teach or be an instructor, which that's very feasible right as soon as you get it. That's how actually most pilots get their hours, is they get their license and then they become a teacher and they get hours while they're teaching and then they can expand. I don't want to do anything like that.
Uber Eats Air. You can deliver pizzas to remote places.
I could just get Amazon drones to do that, and then I'm out of a job, and so I don't want. The only other thing I would think of is I'm on the fence of, do I want to abort that and get my helicopter's pilot's license? So that I can use for around here. There's multiple applications. There's only one other joint here in town that does for touristy purposes, specifically holidays, because around especially Christmas time, there's some areas here that are well known. I mean, there's a national award-winning house down the way, so they do that. The Red River and some of the ranches, like the Wagner Ranch and the Birdville Ranch, stuff like that, they can fly and you can get to see those. The other would be our ranch land itself, flying fence lines and other things, and looking, and or even spray applications you can get into for mesquite trees are big here. A lot of times you want them gone in certain pastures, to get them away from the cattle and cows. So that I could turn into use. But I don't know. I'm not committed enough yet, and
Hog
it's a big
hunting.
investment. Well, I was going to leave that one off because you can do hog hunting tours where you can get people in where they can pew, pew, pew all day, which it's actually a necessity because
Hogs are so invasive.
well, a sow can have 6 babies 6 times a year, and then they branch off and they can have, and so you can eradicate 1,000 in a day on your own property, and that did nothing to the population at all. And when we go out to our property, you could see in the bar ditch areas where all the fence line is, they have just rooted everything. So they're trying to get in and get out into our pastures and tear everything. It's so much damage, and it's so expensive. They cost, I forget the number. It's in the upper millions and millions and millions of dollars every year in damage, just in the state of Texas alone. And they're not just native here, they're everywhere. So it's, yeah.
That's cool. I like I like some of the gear that's in planes. I like the radios. I like some of the tech that helps you fly. I actually just bought another radio 2 weeks ago. I got into GMRS. I'm licensed ham radio operator, which is cool, and I get to do a lot of fun things with that. But it really limits who you can talk to.
Yeah, don't give out your call sign, because then we can.
Yeah. GMRS, I just got my license in GMRS, which all you have to do is pay the fee, and then you're licensed, and it actually covers your entire family. One license covers your whole household. And so now my kids can use these GMRS radios, which are nearly as powerful as my ham radio walkie-talkies. And we could go a couple miles, and
phenomenal.
So I just got into that, but it's always good to have something in case you need to call for help, or something like that. And GMRS and FRS are very closely related. They share frequencies even. But have you ever had to call for help before?
So there is a little crossover.
Yeah. You ever had to call for help in a non-conventional way, like no phone, like send smoke signals or Morse code?
No.
Morse code down the electric fence line? None of that? No?
No, I can't say I have.
Well,
I've had to call for help a dozen times, but never a non-conventional. So.
There are a couple of people that called for help recently. Let's see if I can pull this one up. To report a death in the Adirondacks, by the way. Adirondacks. Oh. They had to call for help, and unfortunately, they were hiking in New York and had to call 911 in this case to report the death of a member, in the party they were hiking, and one passed away.
It happens too often, sadly.
The first responders did respond, but they were a little confused because no one was dead. Just two of the hikers thought the other one was dead because they had consumed a little too much mind-altering substances, and came to the conclusion that one of them must have died, and so they called the authorities. I'm wondering if there was an arrest at the end of this. Instead of calling the morgue, call the cops, take a couple people to the tank.
But it turned out they had taken hallucinogenic mushrooms and were mistaken that they were not dead. Why would you do such a thing on such an activity? Because you could die yourself by doing. Jim's dead. I wonder where Jim really was when this happened.
They they were lost. In addition to their friend being dead but not dead, they were also lost. So they needed a lot of help, a ton of help.
This is customer service right here. The ranger escorted the 2 hikers down to an ambulance, which took them to the hospital, and brought the third to the group's campsite, where they all later met up.
Yes.
What customer service is that?
What a happy reunion too. It's like, you're alive. We thought you was dead.
Or they're still tripping out a little bit. You died and they brought you back to life. That's I wish that was a group that would have had some GoPros on, some Insta 360s.
Epic video.
The
look on their face when the third party member walks into camp again.
Bro, do you have a twin brother? You look just like Jim, who died yesterday. The kids are
Strangest deja vu.
Still tripping out.
Yeah,
oh man!
Don't accidentally report your friend's dead.
At least it wasn't like a prank and anything, and then they go to jail for being dummies for tying up emergency lines or something. It was just a true accident because they were hallucinating.
Well, accident, the drugs, I think they took them willingly. There are some times when people take drugs unknowingly.
Indeed. Scary. Well, too often these days.
It could happen to you. Like you could go to the store and buy something that you think is legitimate. Say like gummy worms.
My favorite too.
And you pop those open and they're gummies, all right. But they have a little different ingredient, as a matter of fact.
New age gummies.
There's a recall for Haribo.
Haribo, that's how I say it.
Fuzzy Cola sour and tangy gummy bears, because they have THC in them. This is not from like a dispensary type store. We're talking
true candy.
7-Eleven, your local gas station, head down to Walmart, whatever. You grab some candy for a quick snack, and whoo, this one has bite.
Ooh, I feel good. I want to eat more. I'm hungry.
How does that last pope, by the way? Welcome. Thank you for that. How does that happen?
I don't know. For those watching, by the way, the location here, it's the 2.2 pound packages that are sold in the Netherlands. Because when I saw this, I clicked it. Well, I was searching for stories, but I saw this one and clicked it because this is the brand gummy worm I buy my daughter every week. They're her favorite, and I like to steal a small handful out of said package as well because I like them. So I clicked it to go, what, where, how many? But because I wanted to make sure. But yeah, not local to me or you and some in chat, but Netherlands and Fizzy Cola. Now, if anyone is interested on this one and you want to Google that, the picture is actually really funny because the mascot for the Haribo brand went on. It's this little golden shaped bear, if you will. And someone photoshopped the bear and put it next to the package, and he's just got bloodshot red eyes with his tongue hanging out the side next to it. It's actually done very well.
Also, if you're for science purposes, if you're looking for these, you're looking for the package that has the expiration date of January 2026. That was the batch that has been recalled specifically. Although, surprise, surprise, only 3 bags have been reported to be contaminated. The others apparently were not reported. So,
some people are saying, I'm not saying nothing. I'm going to keep these over here. The other Jules said, I just Googled it. So I got to see it.
It's a funny picture.
It really is kind of a funny picture. They did well. But you mentioned earlier for your other story of unconventional ways to call for help.
Mm-hmm.
And the hikers, they went the conventional way. Well, unconventionally thought their friend was dead, but conventionally called 911 for help. This one is interesting to me because I've been in the same situation of a lost pet. And then I've identified or located where said pet was, but couldn't extract our pet. It was our pet cat, Cookie. And now I kind of wonder if this would have worked better than the way I did. It was under a shed at the neighbor's house, and she was just crying for help and screaming the whole time, and we couldn't coax her to come anywhere or move. And so we got the water hose and had to just frighten the poor cat out, right? We hated doing it, but we didn't know what else to do. But this one's great. A rescuer uses recorded meows to lure a kitten from an underground pipe.
He spoke to the cat in the cat's own language.
Yeah. A kitten heard calling for help from an underground pipe in New York, was coaxed out by a rescuer, and soon be available for adoption. Pam, who lives in the Bayshore area in Long Island, said she heard the animal sounds coming from underneath the back deck. Called for help firefighters. Firefighters pulled up. Discovered sounds were coming from about 10 feet underground inside a downspout. John of Long Island Cat and Kitten Solution responded to the home and played it. So he was a specialty animal rescue individual. This wasn't his first stick here. He knew what to do. Pulled out his little device.
Megaphone already keyed up with sound effects.
Yep. Meow, meow, meow. And the feline got close enough that they could reach it with a little cat's paw and pulled it right out because the cat got curious and started inching towards the pre-recording. Pretty cool, actually. It must have been a very good recording. You'd probably appreciate that being an audio tech guy.
Yes. I have some experience in this. When I first discovered I had a cat, Kiki. Kiki's probably like most cats. They don't necessarily come when you call them, right? Cats appear when they want to be seen.
They live in their own program.
Mm-hmm. They do their own thing. And so I was trying to be like, I would like to pet the cat right now. So Kiki, I'd like you to come over here. And I couldn't get it to work, but I did find something that worked, and it was a recording.
Oh, I was going to guess rotisserie chicken.
That does work as well. But when you don't have rotisserie chicken, this is the next best thing. I went on YouTube and I found that people have recorded bird calls, and Kiki likes hearing bird calls. And so there are some particularly that he'll come to. He seems very disappointed after the bird calls stop, or he notices that they came from my phone. But it does work in bringing him up. He'll jump up in your lap and, claws out, be looking. Anyway, bird calls work.
How is Kiki, by the way? When's the last sighting?
He spent the entire day just lounging on a deck. He hasn't done that for weeks.
Oh, so he's back.
I think he's bragging. We've done the whole bird seed thing in the yard, which has been wildly successful. We have massive amounts of birds. There have been times when like 10, 15 birds, all different varieties: blue jays, cardinals, robins, those little blackbirds with the yellow long tail and the yellow eyes. I can't remember, jackdaw or whatever they are. Those
like grackles, or is that
maybe? I don't know what they are. They don't make any noise that I know of, but they.
Oh, okay.
They're not a starling. They're bigger than the starling, and they're smaller than a raven. They're sort of in the middle. Those little house wrens, everything. No emus. No emus. In addition, so the birds are there. Doves, mourning doves. We get them the full gamut. There's always some out there.
Kiki's playground.
Kiki has quite a collection of feathers now. And just the other day, he caught another squirrel.
Oh, gosh.
And ate it. That's what he does. He catches and eats squirrels. And these are not baby squirrels. These are full-grown, tree squirrels. I call them tree squirrels, but they're becoming ground squirrels because we have now fed them in about a month, a little over a month time period. We've fed them close to 65 pounds worth of red or black oil sunflower seeds. I bought this in bulk, and they are just chowing down. The squirrels are literally falling out of the tree. They are too fat to make the jump they normally do from tree branch to tree branch. My kids are watching this, and they'll like, the squirrels keep falling. They jump, and they just like, nope. They're fat. They can't make it in. That's it. That's the one. Grackle. Okay.
We've got them too. They've got the split tail as well. Yes. Ours make sounds here though. Ours get loud. But yeah, that's
not when they're eating. They're awfully quiet when they're eating.
Oh well, yeah, because it's so good.
Anyway, the fat squirrels fall to the trees. Kiki eats the squirrels, and Kiki sort of, I think he's showing off. He's like, "Yeah, I got a squirrel," and he'll like lounge there and just be like, "Look what I did." But the squirrels are not going in the house. I know it's poor squirrels, but we have so many squirrels. And we did before we started feeding them too.
Greener says try feeding them some Haribos.
It would be a different show altogether.
I'm glad Kiki's still around. Kiki's become a channel legend for you guys. Someone, I missed it. Well, I saw it, but I didn't post it. Someone said Kiki's a teenager by now. In cat years, it's true.
He still insists on crossing the road, which I know is going to be his downfall. But
Yeah.
we do everything we can, give him everything he could possibly want or need on our side of the road. But he, the grass is greener and the birds are louder over there, and so he'll cross. But at least he looks for cars now, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, from birds to from bees, birds and bees. Now all we need is bears.
The birds and the bees. We're having that talk tonight, are we?
Birds, bees, and bears. That's what we're covering today. Oh, we've got the gummy bears, the birds, the bees. I think that's it. Oh no, we haven't got the bees yet.
We've got the bees.
We've done the bears and the birds.
I thought you were leading to the bee story.
Now, I was thinking we had to go to bears, but the bears are the gummy bears. The birds we just talked about, and now the bee story. I like bees. I like honey. I like the idea of bees. Okay, I am actually there's a natural reaction in me when I hear a buzzing sound near my ear that triggers an involuntary like cringe and swat type thing. I cannot, if there's a fly, if there's a mosquito, if there's a bee near my ear, I cannot. I cannot do that. I'm worried it's going to like go in and live there or something. I don't know, but
I thought you would assume it's just bad court audio. That's what I would think.
I got stung by a bee in the ear as a kid. Maybe that's what it came from. I got stung by a bee in the ear as a kid. Anyway, so I like the idea of bees, but I'm not really comfortable around beehives. And I've got my dad had beehives and collected honey. I've got a sister that has beehives. I've got friends that have done it, and it's great. I love the local honey. This story is not as great.
No, this is terrorizing.
When bees have to move from one place to another, and when I say have to move, it's the people are moving the bees from one place to another, and they do this. They move beehives to pollinate different areas. It's a service. The farmers will pay to have beehives moved into an area so they can pollinate the crops, and they move them on semi trucks, and they allow them to drive on regular roads like all the rest of the people. And a truckload of bees contains millions, like 14 million bees can be in a truckload of bees. And when the truck wrecks, which they always seem to do, the bees get out. And there's a picture. I've not brought myself to watch it because I know it will be the buzzing sound in my ears in the headphones, because there's a video and I cannot do this. But there's a story of a crash in Washington where 14 million bees loose on the Canadian border, causing the roadway to be closed for 24 hours.
I'm watching it.
70,000 pounds of bees. This is a semi truck, like maximum capacity weight load of bees that wrecked, and just they're in the wind, literally.
Oh my gosh. On Friday. 24-hour shutdown. That's it's a big greener system to have plan B.
More than 24 beekeepers assisted with rescue efforts. And if you've ever seen this part is cool. We've had bees swarm and be in the trees around us, and when they're swarming, they don't sting. That's the only comfort I get from that. But watching a beekeeper collect a swarm of bees out of the tree, they're just like sticking their hand in, grabbing them, putting them in the box, and looking for the queen. I don't know how they do it. But
so it's funny we do the story. My neighbor just this weekend, I was getting out of my car and he says, "Hey, come check this out." And usually he will say, "Hey, I've got this over here, come take a look." But he just said, "Hey, come check this out." And he kind of marched me over to the opposite side of the yard we kind of share. And in his Bradford pear, about chest high to head high of us, there's a football-sized hive on a small branch. That happened, I mean, overnight, of bees. They're
Wow.
very tame and just living in their element.
Not wasps, like actual bees.
Actual bees, a football-sized hive of honeybees. And well, oh my gosh. So I had let them know when I worked at the golf course. It happened to us. We had to call. It's actually this husband-wife couple that they came over and they gently extract them and relocate them so they can keep producing honey. They were in fact honeybees because they were so calm and what they were doing. And so he called a couple companies and they all kind of said the same thing of, well, that because this is a fairly new Bradford pear tree. So the branches are small and the wind are going to move and wave. So they told him, hey, wait a couple days. That's not a stable place for them to really create their hive. They're going to leave, find something better. Well, he's got young kids, dogs, and he needed to mow.
Yeah.
He's like, I kind of need them gone, right? And I said, well, okay, $350 will come move them. And he went, whoa, that's okay, a little steep. So he was referred to someone that loves honeybees because they have their own little honeybee farm, make honey. I'll come get them for free. So I've seen this a time or two, but not the way this guy did it. He pulled up in his truck with a moving box from U-Haul, folded in the flaps, put it together, drug it under this little tree, and he just took a handsaw and sawed the whole little branch off and then shoved it in the box, closed it up, put it in his truck, and drove off.
Just like, see ya.
Took the branch off the tree. So problem solved, right? We're excited. Nope. Next morning, there's a softball-sized hive back on another branch right next to it. And so my friend's like, oh my gosh, what do I do? I can't call someone else over and take another branch because it's a young tree. It can't.
I don't have that many branches.
There's not enough to go. So he went ahead and he, looked up some of the things, and there's some natural things you can do just to get them to leave because they're uncomfortable, don't like it. And the big one he used was peppermint oil. He got a little vial of it from a store. I don't know how many ounces, 3.5 ounces in a little vial or something. And we gave him a little squirt bottle. He filled it with water, dumped that whole vial in there, sprayed around the tree real quick and around the yard real fast, the lawn. And you could tell they woke up real quick because it was like a very sweet pepper spray. That's what it was like. It was strong. Within 3 hours, they left the area. They were gone. They took off, said, see you later. We don't like this.
Not for us.
But it doesn't harm them or kill them. So you're not doing anything like that. Cause he said, I don't want to kill these bees. They're, like you said, they're good. They pollinate, they do all that stuff. So, boom, off they went. But I was a little worried because, I don't know, an hour or so after he did that, I was getting ready to leave the day, for golf. And, I don't know, about 6 or so soldier bees were kind of stormed in my garage and kind of dove at my face from the neighbor's house. I went, no, you're not relocating here. No.
Soldier bees, are they the ones that drill into wood? Is that like a wood bee or?
I think so.
We have those here, and they're my house is going to look like Swiss cheese by the time they're done. They're everywhere. And I put up a new board. I had boards I bought from Home Depot that I bundled. Okay, they're still bundled, and I've set them outside. Within a week, they had drilled holes in the boards. Just like, why? I need those to be complete. And now I've got this, and they're all perfectly the same size, right? They just drilled that perfect size just hole right in it. So,
lazy retired lady said wood borer bees.
I need a good solution for wood borer. I know there's like jars with weird little holes and things. They're supposed to be traps. I've never done well with a trap like that.
Same.
Like wasps. I've never had any of those traps work properly.
Fruit flies, I've had good luck with the like vinegar and apple cider vinegar with a little bit of honey or something like that. I forget, but they get in or a little bit of soap is what it is. I think that works great on fruit flies. But that reminds me of a joke. Do you know what's small, black and yellow? It always drops things.
Small, black and yellow. No.
Oh, it always drops. A fumblebee.
What do porcupines say when they kiss?
Oh.
Ouch. Ouch. All All right. One more story, because we've followed these a couple times. We talked about some unconventional messages, and we sort of skipped the lead into this one. I apologize, but there is one more story. This one is out of Michigan, with the girl who was vacationing with her family and found a message in a bottle, reportedly being thrown into the ocean 8 years earlier in Hawaii.
Wow.
So,
How does
yeah, do the math on this
how
one.
does that? Wait a second. How does not by airplane? I
She's
guess we
from
don't know.
Michigan. She was in Florida, which is still
How does it?
it circumnavigated the world. It went from West Coast. She was from Michigan. She's down in Florida. Circumnavigates the world and comes around on Florida's coast.
The bottle went backwards. I mean,
maybe it went across the Panama Canal. Took the
that's what I'm thinking. How did I get through? How? I mean, it could have technically.
She spotted the bottle in the surf. She's 11 years old. She opens it up. She grabbed it, shows it to her mom. The note inside said, "Hello, people who found this. You will be happy that you found this. Why? Because you will know me with this number." Included a phone number. It was, they got a response. They texted it. They got a response from a 21-year-old Hawaii woman who said that she and her brother had thrown the bottle into the ocean off Oahu 8 years earlier. So she was not expecting that phone call.
No. And what's crazy is she had the same number, same phone number. They connected.
Yeah. I mean, I do the same thing. I still have the same phone number that I've had forever. But I haven't thrown bottles in the ocean. Yeah, Dwayne. That's why I don't understand why I get the calls. I had this number for years. It's been more than 10 years that I've had this phone number. And I still get calls from Dwayne, who apparently had it before me.
That's wild. I've got I changed my number a year and a half ago, but my number had prior for over 10 years. I want to call my old number now and say, "Hey, who got this? And do you get calls for me by chance? And what are they?"
Do you get like random happy birthday texts, around this particular date?
Yeah. Do I have any kids? No, I'm just kidding.
That's funny. That's.
I've always been curious though, who might be calling, because when you have something for so long, especially because there was a period of time in my life there where I didn't go just in the dark and not connect, but things changed and I met new people and just life happened, right? So I lost touch with a lot of people. So I wonder what people tried to reconnect via that number and maybe they got it. So I kind of, someone goes, "Yeah, hey, by the way, this, Bill keeps calling, asking for text, and he said it's been real important. Hadn't talked to you for 10 years, something like that." But I don't know.
This is an important message from Lego My Briefs. Before we leave the subject of bugs, though, can I please make a public service announcement that I say that I hate with a capital H cicada bugs. Cicada bugs are probably the loudest bug. I think they're even louder than cricket.
Oh, by far. Yes.
And when I first came to North Carolina, I think I was up in a place called Scotland Neck, which is a bird sanctuary city.
Okay.
And I got out of the car for the first time, and I was in a nice rental, so it was pretty soundproof. But I opened the door, and it was like two things: first, oppressive heat and humidity, and the trees were screaming at me. It was just like it was like deafening noise. I'm like, these birds are nuts. What are they doing? No, it was bugs. It was cicada bugs, and they just a chorus. It was just all you could hear.
I mean, one is loud, but when the group starts going, I mean, it's louder than a pack of coyotes. It's wild.
And they're not pretty. I mean, if you look at them, they're an ugly and big bug.
Well, when you say that, if there's a bee in my hand, what's in my eye?
Bee. I don't know.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. calling the cicadas.
It's an ugly bug. It's an ugly bug. I'm telling you. Well, I will have to say, big thoughts out to Thomas and everyone else in Texas, especially Matthew Harris, as that area's possibly had some severe storms here in just the last few minutes. The good news is it does rain money when there's change in the weather. So maybe this will be beneficial. But do stay safe wherever you are, because it's getting crazy out there.
It is. Wherever you live, wherever you are, tuning in from the United States and all other nations brings me to one last joke: is what do you call a bee that lives in America?
Say America. I don't know what.
It's a USB.
USB. Oh, I was so close.
I did it on the tech guy.
That's awesome. All right. Tomorrow, back to the Karen Reed case, which is actually winding up. We don't know how many days are left, but we've got Arca. We've got a couple other guys, I think a few more people. And then I think this jury is going to take over and do what juries do. Expect a verdict to this one.
Awesome.
So I'm hoping it's the right way.
I'll have to tune in for that.
Otherwise, half of us are going to be really disappointed. Well, I think either way, half of us will be really disappointed.
True.
Anyway, Thomas, happy Thursday. Have a wonderful Friday. It's the Friday Eve. So any plans for the weekend?
No major plans. Golf Saturday morning. Excited for that one because a good friend of mine down from Dallas, 2 hours away, is going to make the trip up first thing in the morning and join us to play. Haven't seen him in a minute. So outside of that, that's it. But that's enough for me to be looking forward to.
Sweet. Get your steps in tomorrow. You've been slacking today. I heard you only did 12,000. So.
Only 12,000 steps today.
And these were not small baby steps. These are pickleball steps, which are significantly harder than normal steps. quick
sprinted steps. They were fun, but hoping to keep that down tomorrow, but kind of excited. So awesome. Everyone that tunes in with us on Thursday night, thank you so much. We have so much fun. We look forward to it every single week. And as the weekend approaches, I hope to everyone just be good.
Be good. See what you did there. All right, guys. Be nice to each other. We'll see you later. Have a good one. Bye.